the
Yeah,
meeting
have
to
it next
order
one,
at
yeah.
8:30.
As long as you don't do it too early, because you wear it out.
And I was wondering if Quincy would like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yes. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. And public comment, there is none. We'll move on to the consent agenda. The minutes, the retirement report, financial report, and trustee education and training report. Is there any discussion regarding the consent agenda? Being none, yes?
I think I have a comment on the monthly report, the retirement report. It shows up in the body of the thing, 2 new retirees, but it lists 5 new retirees. And they
I
all
believe
show
it's
December.
different months.
They all show a December date.
I will have to check on that and get back to you.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all. And you're saying that some of them are not?
Well, no, up where it says retired, it says beginning balance 1567
Oh,
plus
yeah.
2 new. But
Yes.
then you go down to
And
the
there's-
detail and there's 5. So
Yeah.
I just wondering the discrepancy there.
I will have to check on that and report back.
Thank you. Okay, yes.
On the, have we moved on to the education one, or is that okay? at this
Yeah,
time?
that's-
Okay. I just noticed one issue at the very bottom for next year's, for this current year's 2020, it looks like we may have the wrong year at the very end for the 2-year period ending as 2018 instead of 2020. We can get that corrected.
Okay.
Be page 3, I believe.
Okay,
We will get that correct.
okay. Any other discussion? Yes, no?
Oh, no, it's just, this keeps popping up there on my screen and we say, okay.
So on the retirement report, the top 2 are for the month of December, the bottom 5 are for the month of January.
Okay, no, the date says December.
At the very bottom of
Is there-
the
that's
page
What
3.
numbers get this together?
So the 2 that are added in the table, that's what I thought it was, Judy, I just wanted to
This keeps
verify.
doing it.
The 2 that are added in the table are the 2 new benefit payments in the month of December.
Oh, I see.
The new names at the bottom will not be paid in December, they'll be paid in January.
Okay.
Their first benefit check.
Makes sense.
So,
Okay, thank you for clarifying.
thank you, Judy.
K
So
for
it's
K.
correct as is.
Yes, it's correct as is.
All right, so we don't need, do we need a motion or do a motion or
We don't need one, we
we don't
can,
need one?
by
Let's-
unanimous consent.
By unanimous consent, we accept the consent agenda.
Excellent.
All right, and moving on, discussion and possible action regarding investment matters, monthly investment report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The only investment report we have for you is for the month of November. We are anxiously awaiting the December report. We're expecting it. Should have been here a day or so ago, but as you can see at the end of November, we were at $550 million in total assets. So we had a good month in November. December, I believe, is going to, I don't think we're going to dip below that 550 number in December. But things just keep doing what they do and we ride it along with the markets. So be happy to try to answer any questions you may have about the investment report.
Are there any questions? Being none, move on to the possible action regarding communications policy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Trustees, you have the board communications policy. I have no recommended amendments to the policy, but it is time for its review in our schedule.
It doesn't have, well, it has to do with policy. I know a couple of people who are running for board of supervisors, and periodically they will ask me questions. What is the best thing to do?
Tell them to call me.
Okay.
One of them did.
The one I think
Yes.
probably did, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's best for the other individual. He's kind of new to it, and I'll talk to him tomorrow.
Yeah. Absolutely. They're more than welcome to call me, and I can answer any questions, explain anything that any member of the public has. We're more than happy to answer those questions. So.
Julie?
Chair Harris might need some help, so
Yeah.
she can,
She's not chair here, but.
or sorry,
That's okay.
they need some help with her iPad so we can, she
Yeah.
can review the documents during our discussion, yeah. So she's
It
getting errors
keeps
on the
saying
file,
it's
sorry.
trying to connect. Thank you. Taking care of.
Thank you for bringing that to our attention.
We're, okay.
So, yeah.
It
It keeps erroring out.
Yeah, I keep getting an icon that says it's trying to connect to Filer, but we're already on Filer. I'm
Sorry,
sorry.
we want to make sure she can.
Bless her heart.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ah, thank you.
There's always a backup.
People of my age love
Perfect,
love
perfect.
black
Okay,
and white.
great.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Jane.
Certainly.
Are we ready to move on? Any more discussion about communications policy?
You know, mine is a question. I'm sure there are policies, but back in my other life, we used to have a regular orientation for new board members that went over in particular things like this. Have we ever given any, and I know, James, that you meet with new board members, but any thought to having a specific regular, everybody goes through this and the various policies? It used to take, you know, a half the day at CalSTRS. So we were sure people who came in or thought they came in with a particular viewpoint or even an agenda, pardon me, would learn early on what they could and couldn't do.
I think that's a great
And there was a
idea.
notebook that we all got and we always had it to refer to.
As part of, so we don't have a notebook that we give to new trustees, but we do have, and I believe it's in this communications policy, it outlines the things that are to be covered
Right.
in a trustee orientation. I do not walk a new trustee through every single policy, but I do, you know, every new trustee is getting an iPad and I point them to, here are all the policies that we operate under. You know, you do need to be aware of the bylaws, and I point out some of the more important policies. I also spend a significant amount of time in that orientation giving a background in history and more of a discussion of what MSARA is and what we do and how the board operates and all that kind of things. There's a limit to how much policy you can throw at someone and
No,
have it still stick.
absolutely.
I mean, I would look to Quincy and Julie as the newest to suffer through my orientation for their thoughts, and I don't recall if I hit on the communication policy specifically in that.
I don't think so,
Okay.
and that would have been good for me only because I think that was maybe not following the proper communications. When I first started, an employee had a question, and we discussed that. This would have been helpful to me
Okay.
to have a guideline, but we did go over a lot of policies and the current issues and what to at first, you know, but
Okay.
yeah, I think a little training manual would be helpful for new members.
As I remember it, it wasn't as formal as you might be suggesting, but we certainly covered the fact that in no way, shape, or form are we supposed to give advice or direction to any type of members of our program, and to direct them to this organization, to whether it's a personal question or anything else to do with our functions of this board. And I do certainly remember that. And I felt
Okay.
like that stuck with me, obviously, to this day, so.
And since I came on at the same time you did, James, so many of these policies were not in the format that, or many of them didn't even exist. So that's just a thought.
I think it's a
Very
good,
Yeah.
helpful thought, and, you know, possibly we could make that a little project.
Okay, very good.
Any other discussion about the communications policy? So, moving on to discussion regarding State Association of County Retirement Systems.
Do we need to approve that?
Yeah.
We
Okay,
do
yeah,
need to
I think we
approve it?
should.
Okay, because nothing's changed, right? Okay, we need a motion.
Move approval of the board communications policy.
Second.
Any discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion passes. Okay, so we move on to the discussion and possible action regarding State Association of County Retirement Systems voting authority policy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Trustees, you have the draft policy before you. I have no recommended changes for the policy at this time, but I'm happy to entertain questions and discussion.
Being none, no, is there any discussion? If not, is there, I need a motion
Yes, please.
to approve.
I'll make the motion to approve the SACRS voting authority policy.
Second,
Second?
all those, discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion passes. Okay. And moving on to item 6, discussion and possible action regarding 2020 board work plan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Trustees, you have the 2019/2020 work plan. I know it still says 2019 at the top. That was intentional.
Okay.
I know we're in 2020. This is a carry forward of our existing work, the 2019 work plan. But I did want us to look at this and be able to have discussion about what the board sees as new priorities or changes in priorities going forward. As a reminder, the items in red are changes to the report from last time. And anything that was marked as complete in the prior quarter's review has fallen off and is now on our list of accomplishments. So briefly running through this, the organizational review, we're still, that's still delayed. It's in the, it's with HR where it's been for at least a year. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
So what can we do about that?
We can, if the board wants some renewed emphasis on that, we can make some calls and try to light some fires.
The only thing with that is that every office is in the same situation as this one. Like, there was a lot of compaction because of the raises that happened. You had people that were supervisors that are now making this much, maybe more than the person they're supervising or under. Somebody that, there was some problems with it, so now they gotta clean them all up in every department. And so,
Is this PDQs though, or something for staff?
We've done PDQs. So some of the staff, there were increases in salary with the most recent MOUs, but it's the reclassification that I think is much more important. Because, you know, we've got staff that are classified as specialists, and they are not specialists.
So unrelated
They're-
to COF study?
Did-
this
did-
was their
but
job
did they say
description.
that was going before the cost study or after? Because I thought cost study was like the most important thing right now, is to get this compaction issue taken care of, and everything else is kind of like on the back burner.
I'm sure we're at the end of the queue no matter what
Yeah.
the issue is.
But if people are waiting for reclassification and waiting for more money, you know, we're taking for granted that, you know, our staff is making more money based on votes we took. Will they be getting back pay for all those things?
It remains to be seen how that's going to work out.
And reclassification may or isn't always meaning an increase in pay. It's a review of their job description and a rewrite of it, which may end up translating into a pay change, but it's not part of the PDQ review. They only look at your duties and responsibilities and education requirements.
PDQ?
It's
Position description questionnaire, yeah, so.
Not pretty darn quick, obviously.
Yeah,
Not for
exactly,
reclassifications.
not
Yeah.
PDQ, yeah.
They got, but HR's got a lot on their plate right now, a lot of people that are,
I would be afraid that they are outside of, maybe we should check in because we did have the cough and they are doing the compaction issue countywide,
maybe
like Sherry
somebody
was saying.
separate is doing that. And
Yeah.
somebody else will look at this maybe now. But they were like all absorbed, everything was all about the cost study and nothing else was really moving.
right.
So,
And there's been some turnover in HR that
Turnover.
has contributed to things being delayed.
yeah,
So,
No, it doesn't hurt to check in.
for sure, right,
okay.
Especially saying it's coming from your board.
yeah.
Okay.
So do we want to, we don't need to give direction to,
No,
You got it.
no,
You got it.
I think I understand. So,
Light fire.
second, the new item here is preparing for transition, as we'll discuss later.
Do we have to?
You have to transition, you don't have to discuss it. I would strongly recommend that you discuss it though. Moving on to page 2, no real changes here. The client feedback surveys, still in our normal, well above 4.5 rate. The last page, the only changes we have here is changes to timelines. For several different items. The investment policy statement, I'll be asking Callan to step in and help with that at this point. So we'll keep these things moving. I'm happy to talk about anything else you want or you think we've missed here or we need to add or delete or reprioritize.
okay.
Then the next piece of information is our list of accomplishments from 16 through 19. The list keeps growing. We're almost to 3 full pages of things we've chopped our way through. I just think it's good to be aware of everything we've gotten done in the past 4 years and the progress that we've made. So it's-
Kind of mind-boggling to see what has been done.
Well, I think it's brought a lot of stability to the board,
Yeah.
too. quieted the critics.
And I will say, these are the board work plan accomplishments. There's a staff work plan, and there's a whole list of accomplishments there that never even comes up to your level. So we've been getting a lot of work done, and it's been very nice.
I also really like the format. It's very clear, straightforward, easy to understand. It's not convoluted. You know, some work plans get very, you know, layer under layer under layer, and this is just like, here you go.
Well, considering we didn't have a work plan before.
Before, right? Yeah.
Remind me what the new supervisor meeting is?
That was meetings with the 2 new supervisors
Okay.
that came on board in, was that in 20, I guess they were elected in 2018, and I met with both of them to give them a high-level orientation, not a trustee orientation, but an orientation to our board and what we do and how we do things. So,
Just out of idle curiosity, who spearheaded that? They to you or you to them?
oh, we did. Yes, we absolutely initiated that. And after the election, my MO typically with supervisor candidates or other candidates for elected office is when they're a candidate, I don't reach out to them.
Right.
Once they're elected, I do reach out and initiate some meetings to try to help them, educate and be available, make an introduction, educate, be available for questions and those kinds of things.
But if they call you, you'll talk to them.
Absolutely, yes,
Just want to get that on
absolutely.
the screen.
If they call me, I will absolutely talk to them and answer any questions. I will not get involved in a campaign, and I will not
Good call.
do anything else like that, but I am available to answer questions. So that is all I have, Madam Chair.
Okay, then let's move on to the administrative report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Trustees, you have the administrative report. We do have our CAFRs done. It's available on our website. Ethics training is due for a number of you. And if you've heard from Judy about it, then it's due. We have several opportunities available for you. You can either go to the FPPC website, or the county is putting something together in the coming weeks. That is a
January 29th from 10 to 12 in the board chambers, and Jerry is in.
Thank you.
Yes, I did send you, anyone who is due an email.
Her email's not working,
Oh,
so she didn't get it.
okay.
I got it on this.
oh, okay.
So you have the information then?
If you have not yet made a checkout for $9 to MSARA, I really need you to do this, and you really want to do it. Form 700s are due again. The new forms are available on the FPPC website. You still won't be first. Already got mine in. But they are due by April 1st. Those of you who have to file somewhere else, we need a copy of it as well. We do not send ours in, but we need a copy of it on file with us. And there's an attached legislative update from SACRS for your reading enjoyment.
And I did send an email out recently of the latest, greatest version of the Form 700. So it would be in your MSERA email. Sure.
Yeah, no, I know about
But I'd be happy to provide a copy to anybody who needs one.
And did you say we have to submit one here and to the clerk?
No.
This needs-
No. If you have to submit one to the clerk, we need a copy of it as well. But if you only have to submit one here, we only need a copy of it.
all of my investments over all the various financial institutions require in-depth reporting. CalSTRS, CalPERS.
That is all I have, Madam Chair, unless there are other questions.
All right, thank you. Is there general board member discussion? Any discussion? Okay.
On back to the accomplishments, all of these are staff accomplishments. The board list is our staff accomplishments as much as the boards, and the staff's done just a great job, I think.
Yeah.
Great leadership, too.
Which leads us to the last item.
To the sad, bittersweet discussion regarding resignation of our executive director.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Trustees, you have my letter of resignation. I was happy that I was able to talk about this with each of you in advance of just dropping this. I mean, every word I say there, I have enjoyed my time here, and I have greatly appreciated each of you and your support of me and your willingness to understand the uniqueness of my situation and allow me a great deal of flexibility to make this work. I would be remiss if I didn't say the only way it has worked is because I have a great staff behind me. So.
I just want to say that I have a great sense of gratitude to you, and thank you so much for bringing the board to where we are now. From the time that you first came on, we've come a long way. And we have a lot of structure and tools, and we'll miss you very much, but I appreciate and I'm happy for you that you don't have to fly back and forth all the time and you can be with your family.
Yes, very happy, thank you.
So what happens from here on? Because yes, we have the policies, but we also have some really big things.
There is a closed session for the board to talk about the plan and what the board believes it should do now. So my recommendation would be that the board start talking about next steps during that agenda item.
But publicly for the next 90 days,
Okay.
will we see you?
Yes. I will still be here. I will be here through the end of April. I will be here for board meetings, as I think I've told most of you. That will be the extent of my time in the office. I will be here. I will be working still, keeping things moving forward for MSARA. I'll be on the conference calls with legal counsel and meet with the staff every week, just like I've done for years when I'm working from home via Skype meeting, and emails keep moving, everything else. So we will absolutely keep things moving forward.
Okay, on that note, should we go into closed session?
I believe that would be appropriate.
Before we do, Madam Chair, I am going to ask to excuse myself from the disability hearing and not be involved in any discussion and voting on that matter.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Along that same line, when we had a vote a couple months ago on hiring Jendy Kersey, I excused myself. And I want everybody to know that I didn't have any qualms about that, quite the opposite. She's amazing, and she's been a family friend since she first married into the Kersey family. So that was the reason. I thought it was a super smart move on the board's part.
Application of Cynthia Richardson, the board voted unanimously to grant the application for service-connected disability retirement. As to the potential litigation, 3 cases, the board gave direction to staff and council, and in the appointment of the executive director position, the board gave direction and appointed an ad hoc committee of the following 4 board members. Dan Jurdy, Kathy Smith, Tim Knudsen, and Catherine Cavanis.
On the disability document that I abstained or.
Thank you. And so the Cynthia Richardson matter, the board voted unanimously, and trustee Quincy Cromer abstained from that vote.
Thank you. And is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
And a second? Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion passes and meeting is adjourned.
Yay. You too.
That's a long meeting, huh? Kind of.
Good.